Yo, Hoopalings, Hoopa here, and welcome to What or Who Are They? A video series I do once a month where we discuss the lore of Pokemon or Pokemon typings. Now, the legendary beasts are iconic for several reasons, but the most talked about is how they become the creatures they are now. And that's what we're going to be discussing in this video. This is also going to be doubling as a sequel of sorts to my Paradox Beasts video. If you haven't watched it, what are you doing? Go watch it. After this video, of course. It's a lot of fun, and it's actually my first video back where I'm actually taking this very seriously, and I'm very, very proud of that video. In that video, I talked about how the paradox forms of Raikou, Suicune, and Entei could possibly be the inspiration that Ho-Oh took to create these majestic, dogs? Cats? Let's go with beasts. Yeah, that seems more fitting, but before we get started, if you like this video, how about you shadow punch that like button? And if you all want to see more videos like this, as well as my coverage of a Pokemon Legends ZA, or as I will forever be referring it to as Pokemon Plaza, break swipe that subscribe button and that notification bell. Now, let's get into the video. Now, we all know the legendary beasts, the living lightning Raikou, the Northwind Suicune, and the majestic and doting father, interestingly enough, Entei. These legendary Pokemon were first introduced to us in Pokemon Gold and Silver, as our first ever roaming legendaries. That's right, before the Lottie twins and the Lake Trio, we had these mighty elemental beasts. Now, for anyone who has played the original Gen 2 games, or even the remakes for the DS, we all know the story behind these Pokemon. But for those who don't, allow me to give you the story. In a time from Johto's past, there were two towers, one in the east, known as the Brass Tower, and in the west, a tower known as the Tin Tower. These towers served as landmarks to the region and were beloved by the inhabitants as well as the Pokemon that lived in them. However, one day in the west, a storm came. This storm raged, and then suddenly, a large bolt of lightning struck the Tin Tower, setting the mighty Silver Tower ablaze. Panicked, all of the people and Pokemon visiting or living in the tower fled. However, not everyone made it out of the tower. 3 unnamed Pokemon perished as the tower burned. However, as the storm lifted, the rainbow Pokemon Ho-Oh had appeared. Using its mighty powers, it revived these unnamed Pokemon into the Pokemon we now know as Raikou, Suicune, and Entei. These Pokemon now being revived emerged and stood atop of what is now known as the Burned Tower. Now that you know the story of these Pokemon, you might have a couple of questions like, for example, doesn't the story itself answer the question? While, yes, we do know how the legendary beasts were reborn, we don't really know where or why Ho-Oh decided to revive them to look the way they do now. But that's what makes videos like this so much fun. So, what are, or better question, were the legendary beasts? Well, we can only really go on theories and speculations. Some say they were the original evolution trio of Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon, and that's actually a very interesting theory that makes more sense once you realize that these Pokemon share hidden abilities. However, here's my theory. Anyone who has seen the data dump for Pokemon Gold and Silver's beta, you will know that we were able to see the beta designs of the legendary beasts. These Pokemon look very different from the original designs that we got upon release of the games, and I believe that these beta designs went unnamed until they were redesigned into what we have now, leaving us with 3 unnamed beast Pokemon that were revived into the Pokemon we know now as the legendary beasts, all the while Nintendo using the redesigns of these Pokemon as lore for their creation. Game Freak is no stranger to this. I mean, look at the Porygon evolution line. In one Pokedex entry or another for that line, we get something about why Porygon looks more advanced with each time it evolves. Porygon is a computer program, and with more advancements in technology, we get more polygons for 3D modeling, allowing for more detailed designs, hence Porygon 2, and even though it's a glitched out version, Porygon Z. Now, I will leave you with the same thing I said in the video about the Paradox Beasts. I believe that Ho-Oh revived these Pokemon using its memories of these great beasts that it had met a very, very long time ago, reviving these once weak Pokemon into the majestic and powerful beasts we now know as Raikou, Suicune, and Entei, the legendary beasts. Well, that was fun. I always love talking about Pokemon and the theories behind them, whether it's legendary lore or Pokemon typings. Talking and theorizing about Pokemon is fun, and I love doing it. Anyway, what do you guys think of the legendary beasts? Do you have your own theories about them? Leave them down in the comment section below. I would love to see what your guys' theory about these Pokemon are. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Hoopa out. Bye, guys.